What's up, everybody? We're the For the Love of Sports podcast. We're just some guys talking sports. We're your hosts. I'm Malik, the glue to the team. Corey and Jay are my two best friends. We're sharing knowledge and sharing unprofessional athletic thoughts. Follow us on Instagram at the number 4TLOS podcast and on TikTok at FTLOS pod for all of your daily updates and keeping up with the boys. Corey, what do we have on tap coming up today?
Malik, we got a little bit of college. We had a little college basketball and CFP rankings just dropped here at 9 o'clock. We're going to recap NFL Week 11, talk a little bit of Kyrie, a little bit of FIFA, and then maybe if we have time to it at the end, we'll get to a little surprise draft.
Oh, surprise. I like that. Okay. So something new that we're going to bring into the things is, why do you love sports? Or what do you love this week? So, Jay, tell us, what do you love about sports this week?
What I love about sports this week, fellas and ladies and everybody listening, is college basketball upsets and the parity within it. I have a couple games highlighted here that are supposed to be bye games for the bigger school. And for the listeners who don't know what bye games are, essentially the higher ranked team will normally pay a lower ranked team to come play them. And that money will in turn help the program out. Louisville lost to App State, which is a bye game. Florida lost to FAU. FSU lost to Troy, and TCU lost to Northwestern State. So I have a tweet here from a college basketball insider basically highlighting the reason why he believes this is happening. His name is John Rothstein. The transfer portal has completely changed the dynamic of bye games. Mid-major programs now have access to guys they couldn't recruit in high school, and power conference programs don't have the rhythm and chemistry they used to have because of roster turnover. A whole new ball game. I couldn't agree more. So for all of my betting people, think twice about putting your money down on that money line for that powerhouse team. That's it.
All right.
True.
All right.
I like that.
I love it. I love seeing the underdog win, the parity, and Jay, you're a big college hoops guy, and March Madness down the line. Does this bye game really hurt teams when it comes down to the rankings, or is it kind of like a?
It's still early. So one thing about college basketball is it's real ugly in the beginning. So November, that's basically you just trying to get your feet wet, understand everybody, how they're going to play in the actual game. But then when December hits, conference play hits, and you really start to see who is going to be who. But then still college basketball. Basketball in general, the ball might not bounce your way one night. So it's going to be interesting to see how some of these teams bounce back. I'm not mad at Florida State and Louisville losing because I'm a Carolina guy, and they're both in the ACC, so I couldn't be more happy about that.
That's what's up. Okay.
Yeah.
So what matchups are you looking forward to the most this week or coming up?
As we speak, and as we're recording this, it is Tuesday night at 9:14 p.m. for all the listeners. Kentucky is playing Michigan State, and that has been a wonderful game. I have money on Kentucky, and they're winning by 1 with 14 seconds left. And then later on tonight, there's Duke and Kansas. The battle of the two blue bloods. So we're going to see. I think I have money on Duke, even though I'm a UNC guy, but money talks. So I think that's going to be good. And then on the women's side, I think we have number 2 versus number 1, and South Carolina versus Stanford. It's going to be a great game. I like seeing Don Staley compete. So we're going to see. I think that game is for anybody who loves watching hoops or wants to begin to watch hoops. That's a good game to watch. Both teams fundamentally sound. They don't make too many mistakes, and they just well coached. So I believe the game is at 3:00. I could be wrong though. Double check though.
Okay, so sounds like a good weekend evening matchups coming up soon in college basketball. Have there been any upsets on the men's side? I got a couple on the maybe not upsets, but some things in the women's side that I want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest has been Louisville is a big surprise because they're already, I don't think they've won a game yet, and they've been favored in all of their games. So, like I said, they just lost to Appalachian State tonight as we're recording this. So it's something like when you have a bigger school like that who's supposed to win these games and they're not winning, then that is always going to catch your eye. But I think the biggest one is TCU was ranked 15 in the nation and lost to Northwestern State. And out of the 360 some odd teams in college basketball, Division I, Northwestern State was ranked number 352. So,
oh God,
you're not supposed to lose. You're not supposed to lose that game. Well, I'll give them some grace because they were missing their two starters in their backcourt. But still, you can't lose that game, man. You can't lose it.
Now, I know you're more of a all-around hoops follower, and I'm getting into the women's side of things. But, Tennessee, they were supposed to be, one of these top programs, lost opening night at Ohio State, lost at home to Indiana.
Yeah, it's crazy because when you look at teams like that, they were really good when we were coming up, when we were growing up. And not to say that they're not good now, but then you have teams like Ohio State that wasn't that good when we were growing up, Indiana, and then obviously UConn's always been good. But talent is widespread, man. Like the girls aren't just going to UConn, Tennessee, South Carolina, Stanford. Like they're going everywhere. Louisville's been good. Mississippi State's been good. So it's fun to watch. I think that that's something that's going to be big into getting their viewership up is when they have competitive games every single night. Like I think at a point, a lot of people didn't want to watch UConn play because they were going to win by 30 points every game they played. So I think now that there is a threat that possibly lose a game, it's interesting. And that's for people who are more casual viewers. People who love the game. They're going to watch it regardless. But the casual viewers is where they lose out a lot of money and viewership.
Casual viewers. So guys like me trying to get into the sport might miss a night or two, or trying to be committed and become. I
don't mean casual negatively either. It's just that might not be your cup of tea.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I
think also as those things get more highlighted, like, and you start seeing close games and like really competitive, like to the wire kind of games, it starts getting them more like highlights and publicity in the media, and then the casual viewer might be like, oh well, I remember last time, like Oklahoma and Tennessee played on the women's side, it was like 87 to 86. Like I might have to tune into that because it might just be a good game to watch.
Exactly. Yeah. No, exactly. Like that's it's gonna be really important moving forward too. Like the best girl in the country just committed. Her name is Juju Watkins. She just committed to USC.
Ooh.
She's from LA, but like that, I don't think they've ever had a top recruit like her come through there. So it's gonna be interesting moving forward to see like where the game is 10 years from now.
Okay. I know we're supposed to be moving on, but I do just want to mention, Jay, I'm looking at ESPN. It's a tie game between Kentucky and Michigan State right now. So in the rankings, the rankings haven't dropped yet, but let's talk about our opinions. Do they say the same? What are we thinking?
We talking about CFP?
CFP, yeah.
Yeah, CFP. Man, I'm going to let y'all go because y'all know how I feel. So I'm going to let y'all go first and I'll chime in.
Corey, go ahead.
I think that this should just stay pretty much the same. I don't like TCU didn't lose, so you can't really drop them, even though I wasn't really impressed by that win. Michigan, held suit. Ohio State, same thing, and then Georgia, same thing. So it's, if you wanted to shuffle somebody in like maybe like the bottom, like, I'm saying bottom, but like 5 to 10, you could, but I think that for the most part, the top 5 stays pretty much the same.
Now, let me ask you both this. Now, you weren't impressed by TCU's win, and I really, I didn't get to watch a lot of the game. I got to watch a little bit. But are you at least okay? You call it a snooze fest, but what's wrong with good defense?
I'm not mad at it. It's just, it's just not what I want to see personally.
Exactly,
good game.
I think it's just it's hard.
Texas put up 52
also because
Texas put up 52 on Alabama, and you hold them to what was it like? 10?
I think that I don't think that was TCU's doing though. Ewers out there he just looked kind of confused in my opinion. There were some of those throws he was just chucking up. He was getting pressured, and it was it was good defensive effort. I'm not going to take that away from them, but I thought he just looked sloppier than I would have expected, and so his offensive effort took away from my total opinion on the TCU effort.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, he threw 17 for 39, $171. So, you throw the ball 39 times, you only get $171. They're already showing me some inefficiencies there, and then no tuds and an interception. So, you're right though. I mean, but you got to credit their defense though, because he's done better against worse defense. So, I don't know. Maybe they are for real. I don't know.
Maybe. I'm just saying.
Who do they play? Who do they play this week?
The Horned Frogs.
Yeah, because I think if I have to look at their schedule, but if they are going against somebody, I think they need to go against somebody like in the top 10 sometime soon. If they can beat a top 10 opponent, I think that would be really impressive.
Ain't happening because they play Baylor next.
They don't have a. Don't have a top. They don't have a top 10 opponent.
That was the last game of them playing somebody who is
important.
Yeah. We got to get Oregon out of there too. They were 6th last week. We got to get them out of there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Even though Washington's a team, but Oregon's out of there. So what does that mean for LSU? We bumping them up and you got an LSU jersey on tonight, so you got to talk nice too.
Do you know whose jersey this is?
Tyrann Mathieu.
I can't see the number.
Tyrann Mathieu, babe. 2012.
What a guy!
What a time!
I think LSU might. Oh, they're not going to win out because they played Georgia December 3rd.
I think that's the championship week, isn't it?
Is it solidified? I thought Alabama won, so they still have a chance technically still.
That is the championship game.
Yeah, because LSU beat Bama, so now they're the top part of the SEC, their division. And as of right now, as long as things stay the way they are, they should be locked in to play. So
they will. That's gonna be a good game. Actually, I really don't know if that's gonna be a good game. Watching LSU this past week, I wasn't impressed. They just looked average.
Now
maybe they were coming off that high of beating Bama the week before, but it's understandable. I mean, and like you say, Corey, it's college football. What do I expect? So
yeah,
we'll see.
Now, let's say Oregon drops, LSU moves up to 6, Tennessee stays at 5. What happens hypothetically? Not saying it's going to happen, and I think we talked about it last week. But Georgia and LSU, if LSU wins, does Georgia drop all the way out?
No. I think what happens. I think what happens is Ohio State moves up to 1. Georgia drops to 2. I think that I'm assuming that Ohio State beats Michigan, so I'm moving Michigan out. Then you would move probably TCU up to 3, and then LSU at 4. That would be my assumption. I think that's how that would work.
Okay.
I'm good with that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping Tennessee out, you okay with that?
With that in that scenario, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think that.
I think Tennessee, and then if Oregon didn't lose to Washington, I think those two would have been I would have subbed one of those two in for TCU. But I think if TCU wins out, which we're expecting them to, it's kind of hard to move them out of that spot.
Right.
Man, I'm tired of watching Ohio State play bummy teams in the Big Ten, bro. Like, I really am.
So you want the Big Ten to be good?
I wouldn't be mad at it. Like, I want to see Ohio State get some real bump. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to wait until the last game of the season for that.
I mean, last year they got some bump with Iowa, but this was also last year. You know,
right? So, and we have rivalry week, but you couldn't say last week with our listeners.
Hey, if y'all heard me trying to say rivalry week last week, I'm sorry. I couldn't do it.
You got through it really good there. I'm gonna give you your props.
Yeah,
and you followed it up with the W too. That's even more impressive.
Shout out to Hooks on Phonics.
It's okay, bro. Words are hard. Words are hard, man.
Look,
I'm happy for that. So we going Michigan on that one, right? We all agreeing.
Michigan on what?
Michigan versus.
Oh no. I'm taking Ohio
going
State.
to be rooting for Michigan as a fan, but I don't think they'll win.
Oh,
maybe.
really?
I mean, we beat them last year, so maybe we have that newfound confidence. We keep it going. College football streaky, you know.
At the crib too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to Ohio State. I don't know, man. I don't know. I have been to Ohio State, and it was their senior game back in 2017, and
Who they play?
They played Illinois. And like, honestly, half the stadium was probably like 3/4. It was like 70% full. And that joint was rocking. Jeez. Imagine it at a full capacity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Biggest game of the year for them.
I would love to see it. And like that atmosphere alone, like I don't care who you are, it's gonna make you think.
Yeah, you gotta be built for that in order to succeed in that.
Not me. I was built for that D3 life, baby. Why D3?
D3 to the league.
No, that it didn't happen for me.
So,
yeah,
Jerry's gonna call you after he calls Odell.
So we gonna get into the NFL. That's what we want to do. We just want to go ahead and start there. Mr. Jerry Jones, I am upset. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, trade deadline. Let's back it up. Rewind. We're going after wide receiver. Go try and get Brandon Cooks. Why, when he has 18+ mil left on the salary cap? We don't want that. We don't need that. And what's he going to do? Be there for a year? No, we got James Washington on the IR that can do the same thing next year. Sorry about it. Sign Odell. Pay him 15 mil. At least he's like, I don't know. Anyways, right before the trade deadline, a couple days before, we signed Jonathan Hankins from the Raiders, or trade for Jonathan Hankins from the Raiders. That's the best defensive tackle that we could get, because we played the Bears, gave up 200+ rushing yards, played the Packers, couldn't stop the run. Aaron Jones hit us with the Marshawn Lynch. He broke off a 20+ yard. It was like 25 or something yards. You know, home Yeah. And then I didn't get to watch the first quarter and most of the second quarter because I was, driving whatever. And I'm sitting here driving and I'm like, you know what? We're playing the Packers. They've been rough. In my notes from week 1, I was like, you know what? We should beat the Packers. They've been struggling. They're not doing well. Nah, I forgot they got Aaron Rodgers. When Aaron Rodgers played the Cowboys, I mean, he looked like Aaron Rodgers from 2010. Like, my gracious. He just
was trying to say he was done too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's washed. Oh, he's on whatever psychedelics and da-da-da-da. Well, they must have worked this week because Aaron Rodgers does not lose to the Cowboys. He has not lost to the Cowboys since I've been a fan, since I've been around. We've beat the Packers before, but guess what? Aaron Rodgers won't dare. And Christian Watson, 3 touchdowns? Come on, bro.
He was good, man.
Our secondary is bad, but come on.
I'm not trusting it after this game.
Look, I was kind of suspect.
I'm not trusting Christian Watson. Like I'm saying, like I don't think that was a breakout game. I think that was an anomaly. I think that next week it won't be anything close to the same.
I don't think he does another.
You can't expect that. But maybe that'll get his confidence going. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, so he dropped the first pass he got this year was the same exact pass he got, just, I think, on like the first touchdown, where it was supposed to drop it in the bucket and he just dropped it. So I mean that he made up for that. But I think next week he'll probably get more targets because him and Aaron will probably have confidence with each other. But I'd have to look at who they're playing. But I doubt he'll have like another. Like if he gets like 60 yards and a TD, I'd be impressed.
Yeah, I can agree with that. They just signed D.D. Westbrook to their practice squad too, so that veteran might be some help. I don't know how much, but maybe worth noting. They might hit their stride as a team.
Maybe, I don't know, but it was kind of embarrassing to watch, like, because what was happening? Like, why is he running like just across the field and open?
He outran him. Like, he literally just outran him. I don't even know what DB was on him at that point. I don't think it was Diggs.
No, I know on one touchdown, it didn't start out as Diggs, but then he was like in Diggs' zone. Diggs was there, whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, here's part of the issue too, is Jordan Lewis got hurt a couple weeks ago, broke his foot. I think he had like a Lis Franks fracture. Here I go, can't talk again. And so he's done for the season. And so we got a rookie coming in and he's not bad. He played well the first week, played well. Or no, we had to buy the following week. And then we got, Packers and yeah, rookie on rookie. And sometimes it happens. So, but next week we got the Vikings. Jetta's put up 193 this past week, and we'll get there. But over 200. If he might do over 200, he might do Randy Moss numbers. Three for what? 181 and 3 tuds.
You playing him? That's all I know.
I don't.
If he goes for 3 touchdowns, I'm going to be very excited because my fantasy team needs it right now.
Mine does too.
Mm-hmm.
Mine does too. But yeah, Cowboys lost. Hurts. We're still in the playoff hunt. On to the Chargers. Also took an L.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But honestly, I'm not too mad about the loss because I don't think that many people had us even having a chance winning that game. And for us to be up at the half, up until like the fourth, I think, when they scored and took the lead. But like we played solid. I was hyped. First drive down the field, 70 yards, 7 plays, 70 yards, touchdown. That's what we looked like last year. But again, we have players still on IR. We still have major depth issues at our defensive tackle spot. We just lost 2 in the last 2 weeks. More, actually, because we waived Jerry Tillery. So I think we just signed somebody off of our practice squad. I forget his name, but we thin, and our run defense was already butt. So I don't know, man. But I wasn't too mad about that loss. We competed. I think Justin Herbert did everything that he could do in his power to win the game. I'm not mad at him. But he still has his haters out there that think that he's criminally overrated, but they forget to mention that he's missing both of his starting tackles. His center has missed games. He's missing his 2 best wide receivers. His starting tight end is out. So there's nobody to throw the ball to but Eckler. So, but they won't say that, though. They'll look at, you know what, I ain't going to get into it. We're going to talk about it.
Nah, they going to say he hasn't won anything.
Like, bro, he hasn't been on a good team. Like, the Chargers haven't been a good team. He started out his rookie year. He wasn't even supposed to be playing as much as he did.
Nope.
If the team doctor didn't try to end Tyrod Taylor's life, he wouldn't have played.
Facts.
Well, I can't say he wouldn't have played, but like he wasn't slated to play. So that would have been a learning year. Now he's learning on the fly and still doing numbers. So I'm not with Anthony Lynn as our head coach.
Justin Herbert's my favorite young quarterback in the league right now, like by far. Like I think if there's a GOAT in this generation, it'll be him, because I just love all of the stuff that he brings to the table. But it sucks watching him work without having any like true weapons around him. Like you can tell just how neutered he is without having Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and Gerald Everett, and the offense just doesn't look like how we expected it to look, you know? Like that offense is supposed to be like high flying, and I think Eckler's a great piece. I think this run has kind of exposed him as like he's a workhorse back, but he's not like can carry the team on his back kind of back, you know? I like he for sure is effective and efficient and is really, really good, but he's just like he's like a number 2 in basketball. Like he's like awesome to have, but you need somebody else, like a bigger piece, to be moving the offense more efficiently. And I think that next year the Chargers are going to get not enough press. Like I think that next year, once everybody's healthy and they can like really get like a solid offseason down, I think that they win that division. I think even if the Chiefs are good, I think that they could win 13 games.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you with everything you just said. Honestly, we need a dominant running down, like a third and short back that we know we can get a first down. But also, Joe Lombardi is kind of hindering Herbert's success, I will say, because of the plays that he draws up. It's all short game. He doesn't really throw the ball down the field like he used to. But I don't know if that's because he doesn't trust the wide receivers that he has, or if he doesn't trust Justin Herbert making those throws. Because like you have all of this arm talent, you have to allow him to air the ball out. He can fit the ball in tight windows, as we've seen time and time again. So I just think that it's only a matter of time. But a quarterback's best friend obviously is a true number 1, because then you'll have like Josh Allen's career didn't take off really until he got Stephon Diggs.
Right.
Very similar. And then without Kelsey and Tyreek, what would Pat Mahomes be? Probably still him. I ain't gonna lie. He's nice.
I think Pat Mahomes. I think this year has really shown that Pat Mahomes didn't need like all of that weaponry. Like he's a good with like, you know, one guy. Like he doesn't need all that stuff.
Yeah, and I mean he has, you know, very good and solid weapons around him, like Mecole Hardman. He's got Travis Kelce. That's, in my opinion, his one. Kadarius Toney, that speedster, Juju, hopefully he recovers from that hit and, comes out of the concussion protocol.
MVS,
that's who I was trying to think of. Can you say his name, please?
Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Thank you. I always struggle. So,
I didn't think the Kadarius Toney trade would be anything impressive, but watching him work in that offense, the little bit he did last week, he might end up taking over that Tyreek Hill role. So I think that's something to watch there for sure. Because if they can get that going again and basically have another cheap Tyreek Hill, the Chiefs are back at full power.
Which is scary for the league, because to think that they're not at full power right now and they are they're looking like it is crazy.
And if you think about it, if they have Kadarius Toney doing the Tyreek Hill thing, Juju is out there eating, because you have to deal with Kelsey and you have to deal with Toney. And then Juju is just like perfect, like possession over the middle receiver for just constant dumps.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's young, man. I always forget, but he's still super young.
Super young.
Yeah. But he's, I hope prayers up to him. That hit was crazy, though.
It was bad.
Talk about these Bucks, man.
The Lone Ranger.
Woke up early in the morning. And that was the first half was really fun to watch because we were rolling a little bit. And then I texted you guys. I was like, wait till the second half.
Yeah. And
then that's where it got scary. That's where they got it close. But I thought our offense looked good. I thought they looked good for the most part. There was a little bit of a lag there in the middle. Like we scored and we were up, and then I think they either took their foot off the gas or were trying to do too much. They had this really stupid play. I don't know what I was, dude. It was like 8 a.m, and I'm having a coffee, and I watched Tom Brady go out on a fly and then get the ball thrown to him by Leonard Fournette. Then Brady, being Brady in all of his glorious Odell Beckham, Justin Jefferson selfness, goes up, trips, falls, lets the interception happen, and then because he's on the ground on his back, just trips the guy and gets a 15-yard penalty too. I was just sitting there watching it, and there was nobody in the room with me. I was by myself. I looked to the right like I was in the office and just went, I didn't know what to say. And then after that, we were just like sputtering for a second. And I was like, really, guys, we're going to let a Tom Brady tripping penalty be the end of this. But we ended up getting it together. We figured it out. I'm glad we won. We have San Fran next, I think. I have to look it up. But pretty sure we have San Fran next. I think that's a good game. And then, honestly, I think Seattle. I think Seattle just wasn't really on point, and that kind of helped us because Geno Smith was kind of risk adverse in the beginning, and I think it gave our defense a little bit of a time to wind up. And I think taking that into these next couple offenses will help us, because I think right now we're 4th against the pass and 14th against the run, but like obviously the Niners have a really, really good rushing attack. The Falcons are a really good rushing attack.
Might have lost them. Well, while we wait for him to come back,
you hear me? You guys hear me?
Yeah, you're here now.
Okay. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say you guys do play the Niners next, and I think that'll be a interesting game. I don't know who's gonna win that one.
I'm not sure what you guys heard last, but I was saying we were 4th against the pass and 14th against the run, and I think the Niners will be a good test of that, because we'll have Akeem Hicks and Vita Vea in the middle, and we'll be able to see if our defense is truly solidified there. If not, then they're going to have a field day.
Yeah. Man, that Niners offense is crazy when you think about all the talent.
Fellas, y'all are wrong. The Bucks have a bye, and then they play the Browns.
Oh, yeah, we wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Because my move is the same week as our bye. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Either way, too strong because we have the Browns, the Niners, we have the Panthers, Falcons. Like most of our teams that we play at the end. I'm not in order. Not in order. I'm saying for the end of the season, like bracketing the end of our seasons or at the end of the season is a lot of strong rushing attacks. So if we have a good chance to improve on defense, hopefully our offenses, because we miss out on Deshaun Watson coming back for the Browns, and then Carolina and Atlanta, I don't really super fear their offense. And then if our run defense is good, I think we have a really good chance of not really allowing a lot of points to San Fran. So I think that those are good teams for us to kind of practice against and get our playoff body ready, you know?
Now, what about 5-touchdown Joe Mixon? Y'all gonna stop him?
We'll probably lose that game. I didn't even mention that.
Mixon going. That's obviously like a once in a lifetime type game, but I still think this is a hot take. But I think Joe Mixon is he's not upper echelon back to me.
No, he's not consistent like that.
Yeah, I think the best backs, and he'll be on that second, third tier.
Are we talking about if we're going top 10, 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 11 through 15?
Yeah, if you make those tiers.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still good, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know who would I put in my 5. If I put him in the second tier, I feel like I have to name running backs now. So Derrick Henry is who I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
Should I do this off this season? Because JT is still nice to me, even though he's been hurt, banged up.
I mean, when he has been healthy, he has been good.
I think it's fair to use previous seasons because that's what we're judging them off from coming in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I feel like that has to obviously lean in.
Derrick Henry, JT. I got to go C-Mac. I got to go Kamara. I got to go Chubb.
I would probably go with that as well. I don't know about the same order necessarily, but probably going with those 5.
Where do you guys have Saquon at then?
You gotta be.
Saquon would probably be 6.
I think I have, for me,
or 8.
This may be a hot take. I have Saquon over CMC. I can't tell if Malik's frozen or if...
It's one of the things where I can't really be mad at it because he, like Saquon, when he's healthy, just like anybody else, he's nice when he's available. Same thing goes for CMC. And they kind of give you the same kind of feel, but Saquon is just, he's different. I would say that. He's almost at 1,000 yards already.
I like CMC probably just a little bit more, just because I think offenses are a little bit more threatened by him in the passing game.
I feel like Saquon has more than adequate receiving stats to back him being that, the same. I feel like when it comes to skill set, you basically get the same thing, except I feel like with Saquon, you get a little bit more power.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's the only reason I have him over CMC is because he's a bigger body and he's a little bit more of a bruiser. If he needs to, he can put his shoulder down and run somebody over. Where you don't CMC can do that same thing as well, but for the variety of tacklers, I don't know if he's able to do that to everybody. Whereas with Saquon, I'm pretty sure he can push a pile basically with anybody in it.
I agree because I think when you watch C-Mac, it does kind of he needs that second guy, like you were talking about before,
mm-hmm.
Where Elijah Mitchell comes into play. But Saquon really doesn't need anybody else back there. Like, just you can give me a breather and I'll be good, but I can do whatever you need me to do.
Exactly.
Speaking of, needing that second guy, just go back with me to like 2009-ish to 2011-ish New York Giants. It was Brandon Jacobs and who else? Who was that other running back?
Ahmad Bradshaw?
No. Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs. I hated that duo. I absolutely hated that duo as a Cowboys fan. I was like, yo, like who and how do we stop this? Because Brandon Jacobs, he's just going to run through you.
Bro, Brandon Jacobs was elite at that time because he was like the size of a defensive tackle, but was also like, for some reason, outrunning corners and stuff that season. Like he was just moving. There was just no way.
He was really a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So sorry to get us off topic, but I just like you brought up like having a second running back and needing him, and I was like, Brandon Jacobs, first, second down, boom, boom, third down, Ahmad Bradshaw, he can just like Saquon or C-Mac, he can shoot, or he can put his shoulder down, and like third and second, he's doing that.
And that also goes for like the Cowboys too. Everybody, I feel like every team needs that. You got Tony Pollard, who's a little more dynamic in the pass game, but then you have Zeke when it's time to do the dirty work. But yeah, I think speaking of the Giants, what are we talking about this NFC East? You know what I'm saying?
I think
I like it.
I think it's the second best division behind the AFC East in football right now.
East side?
Yeah. I ain't mad at that because the AFC East surprisingly, surprisingly, is very, very, very good. I knew the Giants, I mean, not the Giants, the Jets were going to be solid, but I didn't think they were really going to be competing like that. So,
I mean, I personally had the Jets probably at like 7-8 wins this season at a minimum, but like no, more like a strong maximum personally. But to win 6 this early and like the way they're looking like a playoff team. The Patriots, they're fighting, they're hanging on,
Can't never count them out.
Yeah. Dolphins, they look good. With Tua healthy, like Tua is doing great this season.
Question. And I need the answers and I know what you're
about to ask.
What am I about to ask?
Is it Tua or Herbert?
Nah, I'm over that. I just want to know
Herbert, for sure. That's 100% Herbert.
Not according to Emmanuel Acho, it's not. But we'll let him live. I'll say is Tua a top 5 quarterback right now?
In the NFL currently, as of this season, and we're not taking into consideration previous seasons, I would say yes.
So when you have to add all those parameters to put him in the top 5, I feel like he's not top 5. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, personally, even with all of those parameters, yeah, with the parameters,
I don't know. Because who are you taking him over in the 5? Like,
okay, so you guys want my QB list? I had all 32 QBs listed in order before the season because I'd got into it. So if you want my top 10,
yeah, I just want top 10.
All right, so we got Allen, Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady, Stafford, Herbert, Burrow, Russ, Carr, Dak, and then Kyler's at 11.
So there's obviously some movement happening in there.
Mm-hmm. I had Lamar at 12. I think I would bump him up to probably 5.
You had Lamar where?
Hold on.
At 12.
Do that again, because do it again. Do it again.
I didn't even hear.
Run your list back slowly.
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Matt Stafford, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, Dak.
All right, episode's over. Corey, you're out of here. Derek Carr over Lamar?
Okay, so at the time, I was going through and looking at statistics, and there is an argument to be made statistically for Derek Carr, judging, like, if you're looking at it, like, just purely on a, like, numbers basis. And at the time, I wasn't, and I was trying to give him credit for a lot of the Raiders' success in the past, but I see now that he is just very up and down, and I would very much move him. I think if I'm going to redo my top 10, it would include for sure Jalen Hurts and Tua. You know, like, you have to move those guys up. I had them in, like, the teens, so.
You're still forgetting a very important name. Is Lamar not in that top 10 now?
Oh, 1,000%. My bad. I thought that was obvious. That was obvious. I'm 100% moving Lamar. But the thing is that I'm also moving Brady down a lot too. Like, Brady's at 4 for me. I think he's maybe at 9 now. So there's been a lot of fluctuation, in my opinion. I think Tua and Hurts have definitely solidified themselves as guys. I think there's a weird middle class for me that's like that, like Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray, like, kind of like they're good but they're not great kind of guys too. So, like, there's a good mixture. And then I would say Daniel Jones was somebody that I wasn't super high on, and this season, even though they're winning, I'm still not sold on him. Like, he's still, I think, a bottom tier quarterback, even though they are 7-2 right now.
Let's talk about it, because me and Malik had an argument about this the other day. I like Daniel Jones personally, and I like him because he gives you that dual threat. And yes, people say he's a game manager. I get that. My argument to that is Kirk Cousins is a glorified game manager.
Glorified,
and I'm not hearing. That's the key word. I
think that's the true role of a quarterback. I think a quarterback, realistically, on a Super Bowl winning team, 90% of the time it should be a game manager. Like, you should have somebody that's able to make those throws, and like basically what Brady did, like, his entire time. He didn't go out there and score 40 points and, like, just demolish people. He scored 6, 3, 7, 8 more points than the other team, and the team played good defense. You know, I feel like that's kind of how it should be. So I think if by calling somebody game manager, I think you're just calling them a quarterback. But I think by calling somebody an elite quarterback, you're saying that they're like a game changer. Like, all of those guys in the top 5 have the ability to just go, okay, no, this is time we're winning. You know, like, Josh Allen, Mahomes, Rodgers and Brady did last year, the years before, but they don't now. Like, that's, you can
Brady
take them
and
out
Rodgers this week.
Mm-hmm.
I think Daniel Jones is a solid quarterback. I don't hate him this season. What I don't know is he making those game-changing throws?
So game-changing throws, you mean like a throw that Mahomes, Allen, Rodgers, Herbert, even though I'm biased, like the type of throws that they would make, Stafford.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to make those throws in order to be successful.
I'm not saying he has to do the sidearm throws. I'm not saying that's the kind of throw.
No, I'm just saying, like, he doesn't have to have a cannon to be successful, is what I'm saying. Like, he can win you games, clearly. He's tough. He wants to win. He's going to compete. I don't think right now, like, he's playing better than Derek Carr is playing.
For surely.
I think Tua is a great example that you don't need to have the greatest arm talent. You just need to be accurate and distribute the ball to whoever the ball needs to go to. You know?
Yeah.
And it's the organization's job to put those pieces around you. You got to know your quarterback. So if I know I have Daniel Jones, who might not be able to throw a 65-yard bomb on the money, but I want him out there because he's gonna win me games, then go get you somebody like Waddle or Hill, even though that's easier said than done. But just saying.
Yeah.
And that's my argument with Tua, bro, because I'm like, what quarterback in the NFL, starting quarterback, would look terrible with Hill and Waddle that can take a slant 80 yards to the crib?
I think the only quarterbacks that would look bad in that offense would be Drew Lock, Sam Darnold, and Jameis Winston.
And I don't even care about those guys.
Nope.
But you just put Jameis in the same conversation, in the same group as those guys. That's crazy.
It's sad, man, but he's there. Like, he got benched for Andy Dalton. I think I text you guys about this. I think Jameis gives the Saints offense a higher ceiling, but a much, much lower floor. Like, Andy Dalton was really consistent, but Olave is coming into his own. Michael Thomas is out for the rest of the season. Jarvis Landry's just now playing again. Alvin Kamara has one of his 3 games this season where he goes for 20 yards last week. So I think last week was kind of an anomaly, but I think when you have those games happening, Jameis has the ability just to go, oh, okay, cool, and just chuck one up to Olave, and it's a game-changing play, you know? So, I feel like you kind of lose out on that with Andy Dalton. But, I mean, he still has the ability to throw, deep, just not as well, I think. Or he's not prone to as much.
That one year he had, 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions?
That was a ride, man. That was fun to watch sometimes, and I remember the last game of that season. I was in the airport coming home from Beale. I was still in the Air Force, and I remember texting my dad and being like, if Jameis throws another 2 picks, he's definitely not going to be the Bucs quarterback next season. And then we got Tom Brady.
Then you got Brady.
Let's pivot real quick. No pun intended. That was a Malik joke, but we're gonna talk about Kyrie Irving real quick and this whole Nets scenario we have going on. He's missing his 7th game due to the suspension passed down from the league for his quote unquote anti-Semitic speech and promotion of the film that he posted. He posted the link of the film on his Instagram story a couple of weeks ago. The league initially, for the viewers who don't know, the league initially provided a set of rules of things and tasks that he had to complete in order for him to be reinstated and obviously lift the suspension. So they're in talks now. We're not sure. It's a little blurry. We're not sure if those still stand true or what, if the goalpost is moved on those or not. But surprisingly, the Nets aren't doing bad without him, but obviously they miss him on the floor. So it's just an interesting scenario that's going on in Brooklyn. Steve Nash is gone. Jock Ball is there. But I wanted to get you guys' opinion on the Kyrie Irving saga.
Yeah, from what I've, read, watched, articles, tweets, short clip videos, things like that, opinions from other analysts as well. My opinion is that Kyrie made the mistake of not adding context in the beginning. That was his biggest mistake. I think had he added context of just watched / just read this book documentary, don't agree with all the takes, but was educational to me. I don't think there's as big of a turnaround. You sent us a tweet in our group chat where somebody had sat down, talked with Kyrie, and it was clear to them that Kyrie was not anti-Semitic. He did not have those thoughts. That's not what he was portraying. It just came across that way because he was standing firm in what he believed. And that's where a lot of the controversy came from, is that, he didn't change his mind and he didn't say, I'm sorry, because he wanted, or the public wanted him to say he was sorry. And that's where things go. And not on this.
Would it have changed the subject, or do you think the backlash would have been as much, or they would have gotten so tightly contested if he more or less defined what those beliefs are? Because I think what the league was upset about was the fact that he didn't take the chance in the media to openly deny that he was anti-Semitic, or to openly say like, yeah, I'm not anti-Semitic. Like, I have none of these beliefs. So, like, if he's not actively saying that and the league wants him to, I feel like that's really where the problem is. Not necessarily like, yeah, obviously the link and stuff he's posted, he should have added context to that. But like, I don't understand why he didn't take the opportunity to go, like he said, how can I be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from, or something like that. I think it would have been a better, like, I think not saying that and saying something more along the lines of like, I just love all people, like I support all people, like stuff like something like that would have been a lot more well accepted than I can't be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, because what he said and didn't say, that's just, at this point, we got to just know who Kyrie is. Like, he's going to stand on what he wants, what he believes, and what he's going to say. Like, he's going to stand on that no matter what. I don't think that he necessarily did anything wrong by not saying, like, flat out saying, I'm not anti-Semitic, but just asking, how can I be? Like, like you said, I'm here to promote love, peace to all people. What do people, like, what do they want to hear? Do they want to hear flat out the words, I'm sorry? Because he put out an apology. Like, it might not be an apology that you want to accept, but what else do you want? That's my view. Like, do they just want him to conform and say like, oh, I'm so sorry, guys, I did this, I shouldn't have did it, I hope you can forgive me? Like, he doesn't need to, in my opinion, he doesn't need to do that. And then I agree.
I don't think he needs to either.
Right. Like, that seems like a little bit much. Like, he put out a statement saying he realized the pain and the whatever other adjective you want to throw in there that he caused by the link. And I don't even think he truly believes that. That's just something that he had to do. So for people to call him out like that, he sat down with Adam Silver, who is Jewish. Adam Silver is the commissioner of the NBA. He said he doesn't believe Kyrie is anti-Semitic. Joe Tsai is the GM for the Nets. He sat down with him and said, I don't believe he's anti-Semitic. But this is only after Joe Tsai publicly slammed him, right after Kyrie's statement. Then I can't say because we don't know, but it doesn't seem like he took the time to even speak to Kyrie about it before he publicly slammed him. And then he gets mad when Kyrie doesn't answer the calls, texts, whatever. I'm not going to answer that either, bro, because you're just falling in line. You're falling in line now, group thinking, and not even trying to get to the bottom of it. If you're the GM, I feel like it's your duty to figure that out before you publicly shame any of your players.
Agreed. I very much agree with that, especially from the owners, the GM standpoint. Like, don't come out and then try and apologize.
And Joe Tsai is not the guy that can stand on a moral high ground, because his business practices have been proven like morally wrong. Like literally, if you guys want to Google search it, you can. But essentially, he's aiding in the genocidal acts that are going on with Muslims. So I don't know. It's a lot. So to me, he's not that guy that can say anything. Nike is not the people that can say anything for their business practices either. So
yeah, I thought the Nike thing was weird. Like the statement.
Like, what do you mean he crossed the line? You guys literally have crossed that line over and over and over again.
Mhm.
And I will still wear Nike. I'm not saying that. I like the product as fire, but we can't get into a moral battle or ethical battle here.
Right. Picky battles, people.
I saw Charles Barkley today. He said, yeah, we have freedom of speech, but there still has to be consequences. I feel like if they had just maybe fined him or something, like they didn't need to suspend. I feel like there should have been something that should have been done because there was such a public outcry, and the NBA has to cover their butt about it. Realistically, I don't think. And maybe this is a hot take for me, but I don't really think that athletes should be role models for that kind of thing. Like, I can like LeBron James, but I don't have to necessarily align politically with LeBron James as well, And so I feel like if you follow Kyrie on Twitter, you're obviously there for his antics or whatever you're trying to hear from him. So I feel like people going and finding the tweet and looking it up, just to kind of get hurt from it, is a little bit much. And it should, a dude should be able to post something on Twitter and somebody be like, "Hey man, did you watch that all the way through? There's kind of some weird stuff at the end." And then he's like, "Oh, my bad. Hey guys, I didn't mean to, I don't agree with 100% of all this stuff." And it should have just ended at that,
Yeah, I agree. And that's a major point. And I think this would be my last thing on it. Shannon Sharp said that as a black man, or just black people in general, we always seem to have the harshest consequences, no matter what the situation is, and we're always viewed like we have to just take it. You know what I'm saying? There have been countless times where people have said racist things in the media, or things that are towing that line of racism, but they don't get condemned for it. And if maybe the only thing they'll get is a fine or a public backlash, they're not going to get canceled. They're not going to lose their endorsement deals and stuff like that. Riley Cooper, the wide receiver for the Eagles, is a perfect example of that by using the N-word. The Eagles they fined him, but they didn't release him right after that. They ended up releasing him a couple years later, but where was the public backlash for that? Who held him accountable for that? Now, I understand he's not on Kyrie's level, but that doesn't, I'm not comparing Riley Cooper and Kyrie. I'm comparing the statements. That's what matters to me. The act that got them publicly indicted. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's tough. It's when I feel like we have to walk a thin line all the time as black people in America, and it's starting to be overwhelming for me personally. That's just how I feel about it.
It's not just you. One thing about this podcast is we do want it to be educational and informative and bring up topics like this. So we implore you to please, if you aren't well up on it and you want to be, look it up, Twitter, articles, read up on it. That's what we want you to do. Reach out to us on social media, DM us on our Instagram. We are happy to have those conversations with you and, share our thoughts, off screen. So.
And these are all opinions, might I add. This is just how we feel. None of this is fact. This is just how we feel.
Agreed. Well, fellas, I think we got a couple minutes if we want to get into our surprise draft.
I'm down.
All right, Jay, it was your idea. Tell the people what we're getting into.
So, guys, I think every week we're going to try and give you guys a draft that you guys can kind of do. You can do it with us, and if we miss any, and let us know. But we're just going to do different categories, whether that be favorite best movies, actors, names. We're going to do a draft, 3 rounds. So it's not that long. We're going to snake the draft. And then we're going to see who has the best team at the end. And we want you guys to let us know in the comments. You guys can hit us on our social media and let us know if our team was trash one week. Tell us to step it up so we can get better. But this week on our draft, we're going to do best fast food fries. And I think
I'm ready.
The order is Corey, me, Malik.
Yep.
Right? And then we're going to snake it back around. We're going to have 3 rounds. Let's get it.
Go ahead, Corey.
I think number one overall pick. I don't think it should be controversial, but it might be for some people. I'm gonna go Chick-fil-A fries.
Ooh, okay. I mean, that's a good number one pick. You know, I ain't mad at it. My number one pick, you know where I'm going. I'm going McDonald's. Come on now, stop playing with me. Gotta go McDonald's.
Okay. I'm gonna go Wendy's.
Okay.
Wendy's first round, huh? I'm not mad at it.
I gotta secure, some good fries. Now,
I feel like back in the day,
he has a double tap though.
Here comes the double tap. Give me the Five Guys fries with and without Cajun.
You can have them. Them joints so mid.
What?
That was a waste of a pick.
Yeah, that's so mid. They don't suck, but they're not good though.
I'm not saying they're top 10.
Top 10.
Let me get a mulligan.
Sure, moving on to the next.
All right, go ahead. You got it.
Oh, it's me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bet. My boy. So we got Wendy's off the board. We got Chick-fil-A off the board. Give me Popeyes. My second one.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and take my sleeper, just because I'm afraid it won't last. But I'm gonna take Checkers or Rallies, depending on where you're at.
I hate you. Hate you.
It's a great pick. That's a great pick.
I thought I could get them in the third round, and I messed up.
Yeah, you should have took. Oh, guys.
Fire.
And you got another one.
I don't know if this counts, but can I get the Taco Bell nacho fries?
Yeah, absolutely.
You had it. You can have those.
Because my team is ridiculous. Thank you.
Yeah,
my third and final pick. I'm going to be taking the Arby's curly fries.
Dude, that was
you
right.
Don't
that
even
was the
eat
next
Arby's.
This man's tight. This man's upset.
The restaurant is so mid that the fries banging. The fries are banging. Arby's got more than the meat. Pause.
Oh, you are wicked.
Hey, yo.
And the Jamocha shakes.
Bro, the Jamocha shake with the curly fries? Chef's kiss.
Now, you go ahead and take your last pick of this third team you got.
Yeah, my team sucks. I'm gonna go with the Hardee's Jones, though. Or the Carl Jr.'s. Look, my curly fries and my checker fries got snook. So
of course,
he really thought. My three were Chick-fil-A, the Rallies or Checkers fries, and then the Taco Bell nacho fries.
And then Malik, yours were
Wendy's, Five Guys, and Hardee's or Carl Jr.'s.
Okay. And then I came in with McDonald's first round, Popeyes, and Arby's. Ooh, it's going to be interesting what the people say. Malik, you're definitely not winning. It's just going to be.
I'm not winning.
Yeah, you out there.
Yeah. In my
I think
personal
I have a good
opinion,
chance.
I don't know. In my personal opinion, the nacho fries really hurt you. The nacho fries.
Did I fumble it with that one?
How can you say that when you pick Five Guys early?
First of all, Five Guys fries.
What was your team
think about
again?
the quantity. Think about the quantity that you get.
Quality over quantity. I don't care.
The quality's still good, especially with the Cajun seasoning, and then you dip them sauce with it and the ketchup and the vinegar. Come on, Slim.
To each his own.
You're right.
Question.
It's over a large bag at Five Guys.
What do you guys think about like Raisin Cane or like Whataburgers and like Raisin Canes and stuff, like their fries? I think I'm hot take. This may be the clip. We should clip this. Raisin Canes is mid.
Raisin Canes is mid.
You know what also is mid? This is also might be a little scandalous. In-N-Out, to me, is trash.
Never had it, so can't confirm nor deny.
I lived in California for 6 years. I can say very mid. If it's like it, Californians love it, but I think it's because of like mid things. Like everything about there is mid.
Hey, y'all had White Castle, like traditional White Castle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Joints go crazy.
Yeah, you should have took them over Five Guys.
Their fries? Mm-hmm. No, I'm talking about the burgers, not the fries.
Another draft there, but
yeah.
Appreciate y'all boys entertaining
Shoot,
that.
chips.
Oh,
chips next week.
Drop comments for
what you want us to draft.
Guys. Yeah, because we're gonna draft a whole bunch of things, and maybe just maybe you get invited to do a guest draft with us.
Ooh,
that'd be fun.
That'd be pretty cool. All right, boys, we've been talking long enough. It's been a great time. A lot of cool stuff we talked about. Remember, folks, if you're listening, watching, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok. Have a great night. Have a great day. We love you.
Stay hydrated, baby.
Be easy.